Hi there, my name is Chris Graham. Welcome to my showreel. Over the next 5 minutes, you get to see what I'm all about. There's opinionated punditry, there's passionate presenting, and there's lots of stats. I hope you enjoy it.
Last one we'll look at is Manchester United Stoke, home win, finished, Stoke don't travel.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. This is just absolutely simple. Man United eat Stoke for breakfast and then spit them back out again. The stats here are unbelievable. 25 points of the last 27 against Stoke. At Old Trafford played 12, won 11, drawn 1, lost nil. And Van Persie loves coming up against them as well. 6 goals in his last 5 games against Stoke. I'm expecting a big performance here from Man United against a Stoke side with an appalling away record generally.
What price Southampton, Chrissy G?
Decent 16-5 flash, of course, just over 3-1 there. But how many chances do we give QPR? How many chances do we give them at these kind of short, prohibitive prices? Not for me. This game just reeks of carnage. Lots of goals and you know, defensive, shambolic displays everywhere you look. So for me, probably the draw at 13-5. I can't be backing QPR at evens. Let's talk about the Gold Cup, my favourite race of the Cheltenham Festival by far, every year. The highlight of the Friday, day 4, the final day of the festival, and this year's race is as intriguing as ever. Missing someone for me, no Cotterstar, no Denman this year. It feels like a new generation, Stuart, doesn't it? And if you look at the odds here, it's Bobsworth that heads the betting at 3-1. As dawn broke this morning, William Hill went 4-1 on Germany, pushed him from 3-1 into 4-1.
Dawn broke.
As dawn broke.
I love it, the way you're so poetic.
And then Coral have went best price or joint best price on all 16 teams.
I've got to say, if at dawn this morning you were checking on the Germany price,
I'm that committed, mate. I spent a couple of minutes last night looking at matters. Figure 4 goals, 5 assists, 5 games. That's worthless now, isn't it? You know, he's not even playing. Everton have conceded first in the last 6 Premier League games, yet avoided defeat each time. That's never been done before in the 20-year history of the Premier League. So I guess it shows resilience. It shows character. Everything you'd associate with a David Moyes team. But my feeling is people are just going a wee bit over the top about Everton. I heard some pundit, absolutely, some pundits said last Saturday that they're favourites to finish in 4th place. Not at all. This is the team who won last week. That was their first win since September. They've drawn with Wigan. They've drawn with QPR. Let's just hang on a minute.
Can you blame Levine for what happened yesterday?
Not at all. No, for the first, I actually feel a lot of sympathy for him. And I listened to his interview with BBC Scotland last night when I got in, and his voice was almost breaking. It was heartbreaking to listen to. It really was. But it's simple. It's a simple equation. He really has to win in Belgium on Tuesday night to save his job, and he knows that. You can tell by his voice. He knows that. And last night was just probably the best performance under his tenure. But there's been too many bad performances in the last 2 years before that. Give me your thoughts on him. Of course, he won the race 2 years ago in 2011. We saw him last year. He finished 3rd, disappointing. We never looked like winning the race last year. How do you assess his chances for the 2013 renewal?
We've seen them 3 times live now on Sports Tonight, and
they've
haven't got a cutting edge, have they?
Yet to impress me. I'm happy to sit here now on October the 19th and say that Lech Poznan will not win next quarter. I think they're a very average side. I think they could, didn't impress me at all tonight. No cutting edge, defensively insecure. Chelsea don't care. They don't care about what people think of them. This is my feeling is they just are so insular. They just don't care about public perception or even the perception of their fans, as we saw in the last 48 hours when they brought in Benitez, a man very unpopular with their own fan base. They don't care.
Flash Gordon Watson, the Bet by Latin, our stats man, Chris Graham, the man who has stats on every single game.
Every single one. Take me on. Every single one. Pop away, man. Football leagues, SPL, Albion against Montrose. I've got it.
If they're going to beat someone at a big price, it's not going to be the day 50-1 you can get rid of if you fancy them to come back.
Yeah, that's the 38th consecutive game that Man City have scored at home. You have to go back to November 2010 when the last time they drew a blank at home. That was against Birmingham City, would you believe? Swindon 2-1 up against Yeovil. Yeovil get a consolation goal there. That's Yeovil scored in 10 consecutive games this season. Well done to them. Chelsea 1-1, as you know. Chelsea, for the 7th game in a row, have scored and conceded in the same game. And Watford against Wolves, a red card in that. That's 7 red cards in Watford's last 9 games. Shocking stuff. It was the Villa defeat last week that really jolted me into thinking, hey, this is a real problem now for Sunderland. I expected them to win last week, I really did. But there is hope, Darren. There's hope, guys. There is, because the last time Sunderland beat Everton was December 2001. You know, number 1 was that particular week. Robbie Williams was at the top of the charts. Guess who's at the top of the charts this week? Robbie Williams is first number 1 for 8 years. For 8 years, so there's hope. Millwall have gone 1 up against Blackburn. Light Flash says unbeaten in the last 11 games, and it's the first time these sides have played each other since April 1992. Right side Fed were at #1 that particular week with Deeply Dippy. Inverness 1-0 up against Celtic. Inverness, you think, how could Celtic be losing to Inverness? I'll tell you why. They're a great side. They're the top scorers in the SPL this season, above Celtic. And Bury are 2-1 up against Bournemouth. It looks like Eddie Howe might suffer his first defeat in 9 games since he returned to Bournemouth. And another stunning statistic which might just happen today: Oxford against Northampton, never been a draw in 20 games between these sides. It's 1-1 at the moment with just 5 minutes to go. Will we finally see a draw in an Oxford-Northampton game? So Deschamps for sure. He's not having Bobsworth at all. He's going for Sir Deschamps to win the Gold Cup. It's been great talking about Cheltenham Festival, Stuart. Thanks for your time today. So we'll be here in Sports Tonight, taking you through all the action at Cheltenham in 4 weeks' time. My name's Chris Graham. I'll see you tomorrow.